I'll have the great and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to ask questions at our two panelists. Is there someone who wants to break the ice? Yeah, thank you.
Hello. I have a question because the end of Windows 10 is a big point for some companies, maybe also for you. How does it impact your project on ZenDis, on OpenDes, and also in the open source strategy of Saxony?
Sorry, I didn't get the first part of the question there. The introduction I didn't get.
How the end of Windows 10 impacts your projects?
At the moment, we prolonged. We got a prolongation process because we don't want to put it in the cloud at the moment. We have some offers which go from Microsoft, of course, to place our data and so on in the Microsoft Azure cloud, but the Free State of Bavaria also already did. You have to know that the headquarters of Microsoft, or one of the headquarters, is in Munich, but no headquarters of Microsoft is in our state. So I think we are free in choose, and we are testing alternatives at the moment. We're obviously testing we are testing Apple or also Mac OS at the moment, because that's a running system, and we are testing Linux, and we see we have one year more spare time left to make the leap, I would say, into a new environment. And I think it will not be Microsoft at the moment, because we have after we read about what happens to the chief prosecutor of the ICC, we are really aware of it. As well as we talked to our Czech colleagues last Tuesday. No, sorry, Wednesday. They told us that the complete administration system was down because it was placed in Azure, in the Azure cloud, and so the digital gateways to the administrative services didn't work. So we are a little bit aware, and we try to do something else. But we are not finished with this process yet. It started. Huh?
Yeah, this really puts us under pressure to deliver a product for the public administration, and we are aware of that for the end of the Windows 10 support, obviously, and also the political situation right now. Really, we have no time. We need to build solutions right now to be able to deploy them at the public administrations next year. I think that's the lesson learned from the developments of this year.
Do you have any idea how large the problem is with regards to Windows 10 and the usage at the second state government?
How large? How many people are concerned?
How many devices affected?
Yeah, there are about in the front end there are about 96,000 devices, maybe 90 to 96 devices at the moment.
90,000.
96,000, yes.
Oh,
sorry, I forgot 1,000. Yes.
That's quite a bit.
96,000.
Are there more questions from the audience? Yes, thank you.
Yes, I have a question. How can we make all the investment sustainable for longer term? We all remember the solar industry, 2008. Germany was leading in innovation and production in solar power. And how are we not going to make the same thing with open source technology and just send us in the ground and make it all the investment sustainable for everybody who is working onto it?
I think the key is to make to make up a plan to do a continuous investment, not only like upfront 1 or 2 year investment and then go, but to build an infrastructure, governance models, to make this a long-term investment into open source projects. And ZenDis has decided to go with the enterprise licensing model. So public administrations get support, get SLAs for the products. For example, OpenDesk, they buy for us or buy at us. They get support and all the enterprise SLAs. And for the licensing fees, we give to the open source projects for them to build a sustainable model.
I think one main reason for the crumbling and downfall of our solar industry was that we didn't protect it. We believed in free market, and we opened our market for cheap solar panels from China, and we didn't protect the constant flow of technologies and know-how to China. And I think that's a process which held on till, let's say, 2 years ago. But I think at the moment we are going in another direction, and we have to be aware that as I mentioned before, that everything what is concerning digital innovations is really fulfills not only it's not only comfortable, but also fulfills protection or security reasons. And if we have cybersecurity in the focus, I think we are able to protect our knowledge here as well. And as a state, we could do something. We could buy products. We are, as I mentioned before, we are real. We are real a big buyer on the market. So we should buy products which could lead or buy German products, for example, or European products, not as American as we do at the moment. And yes, if we have a reason for it, we can't. And we have a reason now, then we could do it in the near future. And I think this awareness has come in the last 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, thank you for that question. That's a very important one, actually. And if I may add, that's something you all can do something about. And there's a great debate in Berlin about financing, for example, ZenDis. And if you write your political representatives that you want to that they should use open source software, then please write an email to everyone who's in the German Bundestag or any other state legislature. I'm not sure. There's probably a queue, but you can't see it. Kurt.
Thanks for the updates. I like what you do in ZenDis, and I'm also glad to hear you are expecting to grow next year. Again, you should have grown this year a lot more than you were able to do or allowed to do, to say that. I also like the fact you're doing paid open source with support, because that's how we indeed do the sustainable funding for open source. Right now, if I want to use OpenDesk, I have the option to go via the SaaS offering with B1 Systems and StackIt. I think I would like to see this broadened. Do you have plans to extend such programs as SaaS, or maybe people that want to self-host but still have an enterprise SLA connected to that? Because I think that would broaden the possibilities.
Absolutely. So first of all, on-premise also has SLAs. So if you're an on-prem customer, you get the same support as the SaaS customer. You even get additional support because you can get a support package for on-prem setup. You can even do let B1 systems do the on-prem operations if you don't want to do it yourself. So there's lots of options there. And certainly we will broaden the set of operators and SaaS operators next year. That's the plan.
But you have to be aware, ZenDis is not cheap. We know it. It's not cheaper than Microsoft or anything else. So I think that's an important point. We don't. We have to spend money on it, of course, but we don't save money, public money.
So, who's next in line? I guess it was you, right?
Yeah. So it's maybe a thing that I don't fully understand yet. So it's really to the point of consuming open source software and then building something, and then I think there is like a community version planned of this thing as well. Is there are there plans for like a fully functional community version of OpenDesk? Is that something that we're going to see?
Actually, there is already a fully functional OpenDesk Community Edition. So we have the Community Edition and the Enterprise Edition. Actually, the thing that was developed first was the Community Edition, and then last year, with the launch of OpenDesk, we added an Enterprise Edition, which has SLAs and plus some extra features. But you can consume the Community Edition from open code, deploy it on your own.
Then maybe there's so then that's maybe my confusion there, because I think you said like OIDC, so OpenID Connect is a central piece. Open Project, for example, does not include OIDC in the open version. It's an enterprise feature that you have to pay for. So how does that work then?
They made an exception for OpenDesk.
So I can use the enterprise feature of Open Project in the free version of OpenDesk?
Only OIDC, not the other extra features that you get with Open Project. Just OIDC, yeah. Because we have on the interoperability layer, how OpenDesk is built. Of course, we want to use features like OIDC, but not only in the Enterprise Edition, but also in the Community Edition, because we don't want to maintain two different tech stacks, like one without OIDC and one with OIDC. So we have constant discussions with the vendors like Open Project about, for example, putting OIDC in the Community Edition of OpenDesk, and that usually works. They understand. Because there's a value add to OpenDesk, and then they can make this exception for us. That usually works very well.
So there is an exception, or there could be an exception, or there should...
No, there is an exception, so.
Okay, thank you.
Next question.
Okay, 5 minutes left. So first, two questions. The one for ZenDis. Thanks for your effort. I think it's a very important project for us as a country. But you talked about 65 people working on that. It's compared to the money we spent already in the last decades for Microsoft, and it's more or less a joke. Is it going to be increased in the near future, or what is the plan there? That was question one.
So we will certainly grow to a size that I mentioned in the talk, like to 70 persons maybe. That's the current plan. Of course, we would like to have more funding, and that's always an issue with the state-owned organizations. And with ZenDis, it is the same. We're currently working on broadening our funding to not only the digital ministry but also other ministries and federal organizations, and this usually works very well. So there's more money usually always helps, but you also need to think about like scaling such an organizations such as ZenDis. Also does not work like here's more money, then you can double in like half a year. That doesn't work. You have to hire people. It takes time. We're going full speed on hiring right now. So last week we had like 20 or so second interviews. It's really a full steam ahead on onboarding new people, and it works really good. But just slow pace in like growing, and that's organically growing, and that's totally fine.
Okay, thanks. Second question, short question to Mr. Rohde. Thanks for your insights. What you're doing at the States Ministry for Digital Sovereignty in Saxonia. I have some insights in other states in Germany, and I'm afraid that there is no joint effort in doing the same technology, at least, or the same direction, and maybe they spend money twice to reach the same goal. And me as a German people would like to see money spent only once for the same goal for all states the same. Is there any such coordination between the states?
Formally, yes. It's called, the institution is called the IT Planungsrat, which all CIOs of the states are in it. And now there's also the Digital Minister Conference, where, but I think it's too abstract there, or it's not. They're dealing only with abstract topics. So I think the correct thing would be the IT Planungsrat, and but we at the next in the next round, which is or next assembly, which is in the midst of November, we have exactly this topic on it. So it's exactly a thing. I think it's a really slow process. It's more like a snail than like a jaguar. But I think first we have to change the mindset, and I think we have a good collaboration with some states, and which are heading in the same direction like us. And but you are right. It's not enough, and I hope that the Deutschland Stack, German, or I don't know the correct translation, German Stack. The German stack, which is more the buzzword at the moment, and not really an action plan, but I think it will become an action plan, and there's exactly what should be a part of the Deutschland stack to be digital, to gain digital sovereignty. And I think the papers I know already, they are promising. But I think, by the end of the day, we will see of the papers come to life. And but I think such institution as ZenDis, for example, which is a startup, has to be really founded by the German government. We give billions to some industry branches.
Yep, but then again, 65 people, it's even more a joke.
It's not enough, of course. It's not enough, and they have to lead. But they have, for hiring, they need money, and then they could hire. So I think it's a process, but as I realized, you have not enough money at the moment. Do you?
No, definitely not.
Thank you.
That's it, yeah. And I think this is one topic we will bring to the next IT Planungsrat. I think that's there are also some the members of the Bundesregierung, and I think we will have to address it there.
Yeah, thank you very much for all your questions. It was quite a good discussion, I think. Thank you to our panelists for being here, and you can all write your members of parliament now, and then we get this train going faster and stronger. Thank you.